Hi, this is John Rothschild from safestwagering.net. And in our last video, we talked about angles that can hit 75% of the time. And I got a lot of emails from people going, gee, do these really exist? Are they really out there? And the answer is yes. But these are angles that need to be used at certain times of the year and in specific situations. And they're also angles or tips that work either best for the NFL, either best for college. Some do work for both. So I figured today I'd give you some, and you can sort of see our methodology and why these things really do work. Now, there's one that starts to work very well in mid to late November, which is now, and that's for college. And I call it bowl or bubble busters. That means that if a team loses its first game after a prolonged winning streak or loses a game that takes them out of major bowl consideration, they would generally not cover in the next game. They may win, but 75% of the time they don't cover. Now, this one involves a little more math, and you need to pay attention to the TV and what's going on in your games. But this covers sometimes 80% of the time. This involves the pros, the NFL, and it usually you'll see one of these lines happen every week. And that is when a double-digit favorite is covering that number by halftime. The total in the second half generally does not cover. Now, some of these angles just don't work all the time, and we need to point that out, but most of them do. And I want to give you one that's worked for 5 years in a row, did not work last year, but it could easily work again this season. And that is the last game of the season for the Armed Forces teams. That would be Air Force, Navy, or Army. They almost always never cover in their final game of the season. That may be because they're smaller squads, that may be because the actual personnel are not as large, or maybe it's because they're actually studying for finals. Now, hopefully you've been to our site and you've seen some of the new features that we offer. These include line movement, injuries, trends, breaking news, and where the big money is going. Now, in our next video, we're going to cover some more angles that I think will be helpful. And I'm going to answer another question for everybody that I get asked all the time. Is how did I get into this business? Because this is the last thing I ever thought I'd do for a living. I was an 18-year-old kid who got into med school, then went to business school, and somehow figured out how to make a profit wagering on football and horse racing. So hope a lot of this has helped, and I want to wish you the best of luck this week.